out to their defense, that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Vick will find Williams on the slant. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They run on first down to Jackson. And he takes this for 3 to the 29.
By number 39.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, Vick. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Working out of the gun, Michael Vick steps away. Vick loses the football. It's out. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. And now Elder. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 41-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drive's coming.
Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Julian Edelman, 59 yards. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games, is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch, take it to the house. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
7, Patriots nothing.
At the line, ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun. Vick. That's caught by Jackson. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
On 3rd down, Vick. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble of 6, but now it's 4th.
The keeper. A gain of 6 yards on the play. Brings up 4th down.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Kevin Huber in.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
36 yards.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of deep.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On the ground, it's James. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Oh, he'll take a shot from McCaffrey downfield. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. And McCaffrey, 65 yards. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Now to try to add the extra point, the lefty Anderson. And it's good to make it 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Patriots take over.
Michael Vick in the offense about to take over. Vick's the subject of our player's spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, Vick. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Vick. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The sack by Julius Peppers.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Vick. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Intended for Max Williams. Incomplete. It's 3rd down.
Flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for New England. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We were treated to a fine first half from Dak Prescott. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll run on first down. It's James, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll keep it on the ground. James, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd down, it's James, and he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
First down. It's James, and he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott, and going deep for Hill, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And going deep for Hill. Oh, incomplete, nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. But the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The spotlight now focuses on the quarterback, and that's Michael Vick. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. They'll start here with Jackson. Able to evade the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside the 5. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Vick, and his throw here's incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for New England. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taking on the midfield logo. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Tomlinson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
We have played 3 quarters. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. After the delay of game, they're operating behind the stick, 2nd and 15. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Chargers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He's going to look deep for Edelman. Incomplete, nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determine that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 2-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. 11 yards there, 1st down. Operating from the gun, Vic.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one.
They've got his man, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 1st down, Vic. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Going to throw right side here, complete.
Vic's pass.
7 yards, the pickup there. Now the Patriots moving quickly, hustling up to the line. So left side, it's complete. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Here's Vic. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield. And now it's 2nd down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
Cold-blooded. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 15, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
They'll run on first down. James. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's James, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. And they'll try and pick it up with Allstott, the fullback. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taken in at the 22. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you can go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean, you know.
Enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys are nails out there.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.